I stood by the window of my small apartment, watching the morning settle in. In the United States, mornings don't arrive loudly. They arrive with weight. The tea in my cup had gone cold, but I didn't move to replace it. Something felt off. The silence wasn't peaceful. It felt expectant, like it was waiting for something to break. My name is Eleanor Hayes. The phone lay on the kitchen counter, face up. My daughter's name, Sophia, glowed on the screen. I stared at it for 3 full minutes before answering. "Hi, Mom." Her voice was soft. Too soft. There was distance hiding behind it. "Hi, sweetheart," I said. I could hear faint music in the background, clinking glasses, low laughter, the sound of money being comfortable. "I wanted to tell you myself," she said quickly, "before you saw anything online." My grip tightened around the cup. "Tell me what?" There was a pause. "We got married." The words landed quietly and still managed to knock the air out of my chest. "You got married?" I asked. "Last night," she said, "at a private estate. It was very intimate, very curated." My eyes drifted to the calendar on the wall. The date I had circled months ago. The wedding date she told me was still being decided. "I didn't know," I whispered. "We decided to keep it small," Sophia continued. "His parents had a specific vision. They wanted a certain atmosphere." Atmosphere. "They felt having too many people would disrupt the image," she said. "It was just immediate family." I waited. "And me?" I finally asked. She hesitated. "Mom, please don't take this the wrong way. They thought you wouldn't really fit the aesthetic." Aesthetic. The word echoed through my kitchen. I looked down at my hands. Hands that worked double shifts. Hands that signed school forms alone. Hands that held a child together after her father left. "I see," I said quietly. "We'll have a small brunch later," she added quickly. "You'll be invited to that. Something more relaxed. Leftovers of a life I built." I didn't cry. The pain was too deep for that. "I'm happy you're married," I said, and meant it. But something inside me shifted, because in that moment I understood something painful. I wasn't excluded by accident. I was excluded by design. And this was only the beginning. After I ended the call, I stood in my kitchen for a long time. Morning had fully settled across the United States, but inside me, everything felt suspended. My name is Eleanor Hayes, and for the first time in my life, I had said no to my own child. The phone rang again. This time it wasn't Sophia. It was an unfamiliar number. "Mrs. Hayes, this is Michael from Aurora Events. We're calling regarding the remaining balance for your daughter's wedding." I closed my eyes. "I wasn't invited to that wedding," I said calmly, "and I'm not responsible for paying for it." There was a pause, then a professional, uncomfortable reply. "I understand. I'll make a note of that." I hung up, knowing one thing clearly: this wasn't over. That evening, Sophia texted me, "Mom, I can't believe you did this. Everyone is asking questions. His parents are furious." I stared at the screen. A few minutes later, another message arrived. "I thought you loved me." That line hurt more than the bill ever could. It was the oldest weapon children use on their parents. I didn't reply, because if I answered, I would once again have to explain why my survival mattered, and that night, I chose silence over surrender. 2 days later, I met an old friend, Margaret, a retired financial advisor. I told her everything. She listened without interrupting, then said quietly, "Eleanor, if they truly had money, they wouldn't be asking you." That sentence stayed with me. Margaret looked into a few public records, some companies, some names. "These people aren't as stable as they appear," she said. "They're maintaining an image. That's expensive." For the first time, I wondered if the wedding wasn't just extravagant, but desperate. A week later, Sophia stood at my door. Her eyes were swollen. The confidence she once had was gone. "Mom, can we talk?" We sat across from each other. The coffee grew cold. "They lied," she finally said. "His parents said the money would come through. It didn't." I stayed silent. "Now they're saying this is our responsibility," she whispered. "Our problem." I looked at her closely. She wasn't a child anymore, but she hadn't learned how to stand yet. "Sophia," I said, my voice steady, "I won't pay for lies, and I won't destroy my future to protect someone else's image." She cried. "I just wanted to belong," she said. "I know," I replied softly, "but belonging should never cost you your dignity." That night, I didn't hug her, because some lessons require distance before they can be understood. The truth unraveled on its own. Arguments, debt, blame. Sophia's husband grew distant. His parents stopped answering calls. One night, Sophia called me. "Mom, can I come home? Just for a while." I took a deep breath. "You can come back," I said, "but you'll have to rebuild yourself, not as someone's wife, not as someone's image, but as herself." Sophia returned home quietly, not in celebration, but in awareness. I didn't give her money. I gave her honesty. I protected my retirement. I protected my self-respect. My name is Eleanor Hayes. I am a mother, but I am not a bank. I am love, not a price tag. And this is the truth. Those who abandon their parents for appearances eventually stand alone when the illusion collapses.